Alright everybody, welcome back. My name is Jacob Furr. We're continuing our guitar lessons here at the Fort Worth Public Library. We've covered a lot of ground in the first 5 lessons, and this is our final lesson. We're going to continue to cover a lot of ground here. We're going to learn our C chord family and our E chord family. And if you have the G chord family down, pretty great, and your C chord family down, pretty great, and your E family down, pretty great, you can play pretty much any song that you want to that you can look up on the internet at this point. There's all sorts of songs out there. They all use the same 4 or 5 chords. You can do this, I promise. So let's jump in. What we're going to do, we're going to start with our C chord family today. And the first thing we're going to do with that is we're going to take our first finger and put it on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Then we're going to take our second finger, we're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And then our third finger, we're going to put on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to strum. We'll use our thumb today. We're going to strum these chords. This chord, it's going to be 5 strings. There you go, that's your C chord. So, first finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, second finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, third finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Whew, it's a mouthful. Here we go. Okay, so that's our C chord. The next chord we're going to do is our F chord, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your pinky or your 4th finger, put it down here on the 4th string, 3rd fret, and then move your 2nd finger down a string. That's all you got to do. So from C, put our pinky down and move our 2nd finger to the 3rd string. And if you remember from our 1st or 2nd lesson, we have guide fingers in these chords, right? So our guide fingers here are the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. They don't move, they just stick right where they're at. And we just build the F chord around this. And then our final chord for the C family is going to be the G chord. So we're going to play a C chord. We're going to start here with our C chord. And all you got to do to get to the G chord from here is take these 2 fingers, the 2nd finger and the 3rd finger, and move them down a string, keep them on the same fret, and put that 4th finger up here on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So from our C chord, move the 2nd and 3rd finger down a string, keep them on the same fret, just down a string to here, and back to the C chord. That's all you got to do. So that's our C chord family. So we have C, and we have F, where we drop our pinky in and our 2nd finger down, back to the C, down to the G, and then back to the C. And you can put those in with any of the strum patterns that you've come up with so far. So we can do 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Right, sounds like a song now. Okay, so that's our C chord family. The next chord family is the E chord family, and there's a little trick with these guys that I want to open up for you, and that is, well, there's 2 little tricks with this one actually. Our guide finger in the E chord family is going to be our 3rd finger, so we're going to watch out for that. So let's build an E chord. We're going to take our 1st finger, we're going to put it on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and we're going to take our 2nd finger, we're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then our 3rd finger is going to tuck in underneath here on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Just like that. So we got 1, 2, 3. And we're going to strum all 6 strings. And that's our E chord. It's our big, beautiful E chord. Yeah, sounds great. So the next thing you're going to do is we're going to go to an A chord. And this is where our guide fingers come in real handy. Our guide finger here is our 3rd finger, like I mentioned earlier, and it's not going to move. These 2 fingers are going to come off. But our 3rd finger is going to stay right where it's at, and our pinky is going to come down and go to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So we've got these 2 strings, or these 2 notes held down right here. Then we're going to strum 5 strings with this one for our A chord. So once again, we're going to go from our E chord, which is 1, 2, 3, to our A chord, where we just drop our pinky in and raise these two fingers off. E chord to A chord one more time before we move on. A. Now, we're going to move on to the final two chords that we're going to learn here today. So we're going to take these two fingers that have been down, and they're not moving anywhere, or they're not moving off these strings. They're just going to slide up the neck. So we're going to slide from the 2nd fret, and I want you to take these two fingers and just move them to the 4th fret of the guitar. So remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, our frets. We're going to take these two fingers from the 2nd fret. We're going to go 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then we're going to take our 1st finger, and we're going to put it down here, and then it gets a little tricky, but you can do it by this point. You take your 1st finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and you're going to play 5 strings. That's our B chord. So once again, from the A chord, which is here on the 2nd fret, slide it up to the 4th fret, put that 1st finger down. That's our B chord. And then our last chord is the easiest thing in the world, because you just keep this exact same shape on the same strings, and you just slide it up 2 frets. You go from here to here, to the C sharp minor is what that's called. So we have a B chord, and we slide it up from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, same shape back and forth. And if you'll notice, this 3rd and 4th finger right here, they've stayed on the same 2 strings in the same relationship, because these are our guide fingers, right? So we have A, B, and C sharp minor, B, A, then back down to our E chord, just like that. So the last thing I want to cover in this lesson is this B shape that we made. So we're going to go E, A, and we're going to go up to our B chord here. This shape right here with our 1st finger and then 3rd finger and 4th finger in this particular relationship is also our power chord shape. So we can play all of our rock and roll songs with that shape. So if we put our 1st finger anywhere on the guitar, it doesn't matter for our purposes today. Let's put it on the 5th fret of the 6th string, because this is where most of rock and roll is born. It's right here. You're going to put your 1st finger there. Your 3rd finger is going to go up 2 frets and then up a string to the 5th fret, or to the 7th fret of the 5th string. So we got these two guys. And then your pinky can come in under here, underneath this if you want to. You can play all your rock and roll from here. That's a power chord. So that's a pretty handy little thing that that B chord shape unlocks for us. So once again, to review, we've got 2 chord families that we learned today in this 6th lesson. We have a C chord, we have an F chord, we have a G chord, back to the C chord. We have an E chord, A chord, B chord, C minor, C sharp minor, B, A, B. All right. And I think that will conclude our lessons for now. Hope you've enjoyed this and learned something. If you have questions, there are a couple of libraries that have musical instruments, and there's lots of books on how to play music at your library. That's how I learned how to play a lot of guitar, was the library book sale that they had a long time ago. But you can also check out books at your library and bring them back that have a lot more instruction than just these videos. I hope this gets you started though, and I hope that you enjoy playing your guitar. So thanks for watching. Once again, my name's Jacob Furr. Check back here for more videos in the future.